Ah yes, the Ford Raptor lineup. It's America's answer to the question, what if we made pickup trucks go fast and jump over things? Well, here we are deep in the deserts of Dubai, where these three mechanical honey badgers are about to get thoroughly used and abused for what they're worth. The Ford F-150 Raptor, the Ford Ranger Raptor, and the Ford Bronco Raptor, each one engineered for a different flavor of off-road lunacy.
Hello there. So if you're looking for the biggest, baddest off-roading monsters in the world, what's your answer gonna be? Raptor, of course. We're here today in Dubai, UAE to check out three of Ford's amazing performance off-road vehicles. We got the Ford F-150 Raptor, Ford Ranger Raptor, and the Ford Bronco Raptor. And we're gonna have a lot of fun today. First off, you got the Ford F-150 Raptor, the OG Raptor. And in my opinion, this is just one of the most badass off-roading beasts that you can ever take out on the sand dunes or within the city. And of course, that crazy exhaust sound only coming from a Ford F-150 Raptor.
Ah yes, the 2025 Ford F-150 Raptor, a truck so unnecessarily massive that it makes a regular F-150 look like it skipped leg day. This thing is the behemoth of pickup trucks, an all-consuming, fire-breathing beast that exists purely to remind you that yes, Ford can and will build something this ridiculous, and no, they do not care about your garage space. It's wide, stupidly wide, the kind of width that makes you question if you should even be on public roads or if you belong storming through a battlefield, cleaving through enemy formations like a mobile fortress. If the colossal titan had a truck, this would be it, an intimidating, stoic-faced behemoth looming over traffic, gazing down upon lesser vehicles with the quiet dignity of something that would obliterate them with a flick of its Baja-tuned wrist.
So whether it's soft sand, hard gravel, uneven terrain, and at high speed, the Ford F-150 Raptor is certainly overkill personified. This is like a cheat code for those who want to go off-roading but don't have the skill. This will give you that skill, I'm sure.
And let's talk about that engine. Nestled under the hood like the heart of a mecha god is a 3.5 liter twin-turbo EcoBoost V6, making 450 horses and about 690 Nm of torque. An engine that laughs in the face of dunes and tells the laws of physics to sit this one out. It's not just power, it's the kind of power that makes you feel like you're cheating. The throttle response is immediate, like you've just released a caged predator, and it launches this full-size apocalypse machine across the sand with the kind of speed that makes camels do a double take. Then there's the suspension. Oh boy, the suspension. Live valve Fox shocks with enough travel to make a trophy truck blush. The truck doesn't just handle sand dunes, it annihilates them, treating the rolling golden waves of Dubai like a personal racetrack. Jumping a dune with this thing isn't an if, it's a when, although we didn't do that, of course. And when you do though, it lands with that grace of a truck designed to do exactly just that. Controlled, planted, like the Raptor T1 from Dakar, but with cup holders. Boy howdy does it have cup holders. And yet, despite all of this, the Raptor is composed. It's the warrior monk of off-road trucks. It doesn't scream or thrash, it just exists in its own unstoppable reality, effortlessly soaking up whatever brutal terrain you throw at it. It's overkill, it's absolutely unnecessary, and yet it's one of the greatest things you can drive, because sometimes you don't need a reason to drive a Bahamut-sized pickup truck, you just need a dune and an excuse.
It's just a damn shame that they're not bringing and not selling the F-150 Raptor in the Philippines. But I know of one other capable off-roading beast that's readily available. And that's this, the Ford Ranger Raptor. You guys might be familiar with the Ford Ranger Raptor we have at home in the Philippines, and it's a diesel-powered Ranger Raptor. Well, a few months ago, the V6 one, the one everyone's been asking for, has just been released. And yeah, we're gonna have so much fun with this one. So let's go.
The 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor is not the biggest, not the fastest, and not the most powerful Raptor in Ford's lineup, but that's like saying Strider Hero from Marvel vs. Capcom isn't the most overpowered character in the game. Sure, he's not Hulk with the raw strength, or Spider-Man that can jump anywhere, climb everything, but he's quick, stylish, and slices through enemies before they even know what hit him. That's the Ranger Raptor. It's the ninja of the Raptor family.
Alright, so some media guys over here call the Ranger Raptor the baby Raptor. It's because it is the lightest of the triumvirate of the Raptor family. But it doesn't mean that it's something to baby. I mean, check this out on the road, it is absolutely massive. It's just that if you compare this to the Ford F-150 Raptor, this one is kind of a lightweight. Now again, not much has changed on the outside as compared with the diesel Ford Ranger Raptor. You can still have the FORD badge right here across the grille, blacked out grille, Ford Performance LED headlamps, fog lamps, and yes, even a bash plate right underneath. Now just a couple of updates, you do have those speed holes on top for the V6 version of the Ranger Raptor, and again, nothing much different on the outside. Now heading over to the side profile of the Ford Ranger Raptor V6, again you still have these good old BF Goodrich KO2 tires. These are really rated off-road tires, a really chunky stepboard right here, and really high ground clearance. You're definitely going to need that, especially if you're going off-roading. This is one big truck. I don't see the baby. I guess it's a big baby perhaps, but yes, this is something that you would want to bring off-roading no matter what country, no matter where. This garners a whole lot of respect. And of course, don't you forget about the rear end of the Ford Ranger Raptor. I mean, this one right here has this particular tow hook installed, extra two tow hooks right here on the side, and the really aggressive looking twin exhaust tailpipes right here. Oh my, this really isn't that much different from the Ford F-150 Raptor that we driven earlier, but here it just screams sports truck. I've said this before in our review of the Ford Ranger Raptor, the one with the diesel. It's an absolute sports truck, and this just ups the ante, not just a little bit, but by a whole lot. You have to trust me and believe me, you have to head on over to the nearest Ford dealership to try it out yourself. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna go ahead and try this out along the roads near the dealership, but if you got a friend who's got one, you gotta try it. That's why we're giving you all the possibilities right here, right now, all the experiences that we're having so that we can give you an idea. Trust me, this is just absolutely something else.
Well, the F-150 Raptor is the loud, hulking brute, and later on the Bronco Raptor is the rowdy off-road brawler. The Ranger Raptor is the stealth assassin, the precision instrument. It moves with purpose. Now, being the lightest of all the Raptor family, it's still a truck, but compared to its bigger brothers, it feels like it's missing a weighted training vest.
Right, so not much has really changed in terms of the exterior of the Ford Ranger Raptor as compared to the diesel variant, but one thing's for sure, that V6 under the hood, absolutely crazy.
The twin-turbo 3-liter V6 punches out 405 horses, but it's not about brute strength. It's about how it moves. The lighter frame, the aluminum panels, it all makes it feel like it's dashing through dunes, slashing up terrain with the Fox Live valve shocks that raid the road like a ninja reading an opponent's next move. And the steering? Oh boy, the steering. Most trucks turn like they're wading through peanut butter, but this, it reacts like a katana slicing through air. Throw it into a corner and it doesn't just survive, it wants you to carve through it. You can practically hear it whisper, "This is nothing personal, just business." The interior is straight up cyber ninja. Bolstered seats, an aggressive digital dash, and a red button that puts the exhaust in Baja mode, aka who woke up the dragon? It's not the loudest, but it's sharp, aggressive, and makes the right noises when you ask of it. At the end of the day, the 2025 Ranger Raptor isn't about flexing raw power like the F-150 Raptor or the Bronco Raptor. It's about flow. It's a precision tool, a high-speed desert assassin, a strider hero in a family of Hulks. And yeah, it looks damn cool doing it.
Let me give you a couple of my final thoughts of the Ford Ranger Raptor with the V6. Now, a lot of people are definitely buying a lot of the Ford Ranger Raptor in itself with a diesel because of how torquey it is, how powerful, and how, admittedly, because of how macho looking it is. But this one here, this one is on another level. People are looking for torque in their trucks. This one's got even more torque than the diesel one with that V6 engine, 3-liter V6 engine. This is, if the diesel was fun, this is fun and a half. I highly doubt if the diesel one would have had gotten us out of those sticky situations that we underwent through in the desert. This is just something else. I mean, if you're in the market for a purpose-oriented truck such as this one that you usually use on the weekend, which is good for off-roading, good out of the box, the Ford Ranger Raptor is definitely should be on top of your truck list. All right, so I know how much you guys want something that you can't have so badly, so here we go. Ford Bronco Raptor. So guys, this right here is the Ford Bronco Raptor. It's got 37 inches of meaty tire goodness. Almost, yeah, exactly like the Ford F-150 Raptor, but in a smaller body. So you can consider it as the middle child of the Ford Ranger Raptor and the Ford F-150 Raptor. And you know what they say about middle child.
A 2025 Ford Bronco Raptor is what happens when Ford looks at a regular old off-road machine and says, "That's cute." This is the SUV for people who need their vehicle to handle both Baja desert runs and SNR parking lots, and it does both surprisingly well. Visually, the Bronco Raptor is what happens when a regular Bronco swipes right on a Monster Energy can. It's wider than a 90s Yahoo banner ad with a massive 37-inch all-terrain tire setup that whispers, "I dare you to cut me off." The stance is so aggressive, it might as well come with a UFC MMA sponsorship. It's got Raptor branding all over, just in case you forgot you spent a whole lot of money over a regular Bronco just to get the Bronco Raptor. And Ford took a perfectly good SUV and force-fed it protein shakes until it started deadlifting boulders. For something with the aerodynamic profile of a shipping container, the Bronco Raptor is surprisingly composed on the road. The long travel Fox Live valve suspension, meant to soak up desert whoops, also makes highway expansion joints feel like soft pats on the back. And here's the part that breaks your brain. It's quiet. Not luxury car quiet, but you'd expect something this knobby-tired to be about as peaceful as a jet engine strapped to a blender. Instead, Ford actually tuned it to not hum like a choir of angry cicadas. Steering is light and predictable, which is good because this thing is huge. I mean, the advanced driver assist systems and the lane keep assist works, but you'll still feel like a large truck stuck in a mountain pass in the wrong zip code, thinking you're in Luzon, but you're actually in Mindanao when navigating tight city streets. In short, you're lost. Now let's talk about why this thing exists. Let me give you a clue. Underneath you get a high-strength steel bash plate, heavy-duty skid plates, and enough ground clearance to make speed bumps completely irrelevant, and approach and breakover departure angles absolutely ridiculous. That's right, this thing was meant to rock crawl. The drivetrain, you got twin-turbo 3-liter EcoBoost V6 that makes 418 horses, full-time 4-wheel drive, front and rear locking differentials, a go over any terrain or goat mode selector that practically tells you what you're doing wrong and what it needs to do. You don't drive the Bronco Raptor off-road, you command it. It'll crawl up boulders like they're a mild inconvenience. It'll tear through sand dunes like a warthog chasing a sandwich. It's the kind of vehicle that makes you want to find the hardest possible trail just to flex on your own insecurities. The 2025 Ford Bronco Raptor is for people who say they need something extreme but also don't want to deal with a punishing ride every day. It's the off-roader for folks who might never take it off-road, but if they do, they'll have the most capable thing in the group. It's absurd in all the right ways. It's not for everyone, but if you want a road-legal Baja truck disguised as an SUV, this is it. Just don't be that guy who buys one and never gets it dirty. That's like wearing hiking boots to the office. Sure, they're comfy, but deep down, you know you're lying to yourself.
Driving around in the Ford Bronco Raptor was a completely different experience as compared to the trucks that we handled, the F-150 Raptor and the Ford Ranger Raptor. For one, definitely a more rigid, a more solid ride because you don't have a bed to worry about. There's actually some suspension parts and some weight there in the back that adds a little bit to its stability. Despite the fact that this has the shortest wheelbase of all the Raptors in the lineup, it's still pretty capable. So I wasn't able to speak at all during the drive, during the rock crawling, because that particular exercise requires 100% worth of attention, or else you're definitely going to have a bad time, like blowing out a tire, running over some sort of rock, sharp rock or branch, or a broken tree stump. Definitely not something that you would want to happen to you, especially when you're out of town. So what are my thoughts about the Bronco Raptor? I absolutely love it. I mean, it's got the power, it's got the looks, and then if you're driving around town in this one, get ready to break an unlimited number of necks while on the road because of how beautiful this thing looks. I mean, Ford Ranger Raptor sure is quite the looker. F-150 Raptor, yeah, that definitely looks badass, looks really good, but this I can honestly and confidently say it's one handsome looking car.
We live in a world where EVs are taking over, and sure, they're efficient, futuristic, and fast, but when you're out here miles away from civilization with nothing but sand and sky around you, you don't want something that needs a charging station. You want this. The Ford Raptor lineup isn't just about power, it's about freedom. The freedom to go anywhere, to take on any terrain, and to know that whatever happens, your truck has your back. And as long as there are places like this left in the world, there will always be a place for trucks like these. Thank you so much to Ford Philippines for helping us out, sending us over here to Dubai, UAE to experience the Ford Raptor adventure. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy the content, leave us a comment and tell us what you think, and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so you wouldn't miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching. You guys are always the best, and I'll see you guys next time.